can't pull off a spy mission.
Hey guys, Society Reviews here in my review of the film Argylle. There's no better example in Hollywood than someone who's been riding the wave of one film success than Matthew Vaughn. 2014 saw Kingsman and Secret Service become a major success, and over the last 10 years, Matthew Vaughn has been working on, well, Kingsman movies. Over the last decade, Vaughn has attempted to recreate the success of the first Kingsman movie with multiple sequels, spin-offs, and prequels. There's a reason why they say lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, and trying to do so is probably an unfruitful endeavor. With every Kingsman sequel being less successful than the last, Vaughn's last hope of getting people to buy into the Kingsman hype is directing yet another spy action thriller, this time led by Henry Cavill. At least that's what Universal Pictures want you to believe. The latest film from Universal is entitled Argylle, and it features several big names, hoping to get movie-going audiences interested in another spy franchise not named Mission Impossible. The setup of this film begins with a fiction writer named Elly Conway, played by Bryce Dallas Howard. Conway is working on the latest book of her successful series Argylle, a story about a spy trying to acquire information from a shadow organization that's trying to burn. Suffering from writer's block, Ellie decides to take a train back home to clear her head, and that is when she's ambushed by a real spy named Aiden, played by Sam Rockwell, who explains to her that her novels have actually predicted the future, so much so that a covert organization named Division wants Ellie dead, and her latest book threatens to expose them to the public. Ellie and Aiden must work together to figure out why Ellie has access to classified information despite never being an actual spy herself. Before I bury this movie, let's go ahead and get some of the positives out of the way. Believe it or not, there actually is a good movie buried somewhere deep in this really stupid film. The opening act creates a very interesting setup of a story within a story. The film introduces the spy duo of Henry Cavill and John Cena playing espionage in a fictional story that Ellie is trying to write. Early on, the film gives you the impression that you'll be watching two stories flipping between fiction and non-fiction simultaneously. There's actually a weird conspiracy theory out there about the actual identity of the writer who inspired this film. And it's gotten so crazy, many people believe that the actual writer is Taylor Swift. I'm not making that up, look it up. Unfortunately, this conspiracy theory proves that even the fictional story and the conspiracy are far more entertaining than the movie itself. Audiences are going to spend the first 40 minutes of this film watching a tease of a much better movie. And that all goes away the second the audience realize what they're getting into. The first sign that this film is going to end in epic disaster is the baffling decision to make this a 2-hour and 20-minute film. Matthew Vaughn is notorious for his long run times. Argylle is no different than the rest. A film that makes you commit to the long haul, and halfway in you're guaranteed to feel every bit of the journey. Just like any other mystery film, this is a film that lives and dies on the twist, and once you reveal the twist of this movie, the film dies a horrific death. Not only is the twist stupid, but it gets progressively dumber as the film moves on. The film goes from being entertaining to absolutely cartoonish that can't be taken seriously. Bryce Dallas Howard is a horrible miscast for this role, and it goes on to question why in the world this movie was given a $200 million production budget to begin with. Not to mention, Universal thought this film would be so successful, they teased multiple films including a prequel based on this movie's success. Even if you were to accept the premise of this movie, you can't help but to see better actresses who will be a much better fit for the role than the one they ultimately went with. What Argylle reveals itself to be is a glorified fan fiction film masquerading as a multi-million-dollar big-budget movie. Argylle is the latest example of Hollywood's bait-and-switch marketing that tricks you into thinking you're actually going to be watching an entertaining spy movie with big names, but instead the audiences receive a movie that can go down as one of the dumbest films to be released this year. When it's all said and done, Argylle is a film that is an overproduced mess with a bunch of big names that can't help the script be any more coherent. I give this film a 1 out of 5.
Time for you to meet Agent Argylle.
Argylle.